Good morning, how are you? Shalom Aleichem. My name is Rabbi Yossi Lipsker, and once again, welcome to a taste of Torah. I am on my way to a simcha, to a bris, and I'm going really slow on the 128, so I guess I'm going to use this time to teach some Torah. Actually, we're speeding up a little bit right now, but it doesn't matter. I'm keeping my eyes on the road. I'm not touching the phone. This is 100% safe, I promise. So I just want to talk a little bit about Yaakov. Everyone always talks about Yaakov and Esav in classical terms. Yaakov is the good guy, Esav is the bad guy. Yaakov is calm, peaceful. Esav is this unruly, unhappy, brutish, complicated person. The truth of the matter is you can easily see it from the other perspective, from an entirely different side. And look at Esav as this totally happy-go-lucky guy. He gets to do what he wants. He wants to eat. He goes to hunt. He's outdoors all day. He's like pitching tents. This very like outdoorsy, happy-go-lucky Patagonia, North Face guy who's always got that content look on his face. He doesn't have any conflict. He's not brooding or introspective. He's very present. And you see this in the way he asks Yaakov for the soup that he's making. He's like, Halitenina, I'm hungry. I need food right now. So, we can very easily look at it as this need for instant gratification kind of guy and kind of attitude. But the truth of the matter is if you think about it, he was making a value judgment about either looking to the future or living in the present. And in his mind, this abstract, vague birthright, I still don't know exactly what it means, to get the blessing of the birthright, is not something that should distract me from living fully in the present. And the notion of, I'm hungry, give me food right now, can be seen as a person who's very comfortable with their life, very comfortable with where they are right now, not concerned about what's going to be 20 years from now, and entirely comfortable with his life, and very present and grounded in the moment right now. Yaakov, on the other hand, was conflicted and possibly angry. Why was Yaakov angry? Because Yaakov saw the carefree, happy-go-lucky life that Esav led, and he understood also what the expectations were of him from his parents. He was going to lead. He had this intuition of his role early on. He was going to lead the Jewish people, become the father of the Jewish people. And he wasn't fully comfortable with that. He wasn't fully identifying with that whole role, with that persona. And he resented it, and he was angry. And so when it says that Yaakov was running away to Haran, there's a couple things. First of all, I'm not so sure that he was really running away from Esav on a deep psychological level. I think he may have been running away from his parents. He may have been running away from what was expected of him, from the pressure of having to assume the mantle of leadership of the Jewish people, to be the father of the Bnei Yisrael. It's very overwhelming. And he was resentful and angry of it. And he was trying to deal with that. And his first attempt at dealing with it is in the way he puts on the clothing of his brother. And this is perhaps his way of saying, I want to be more like Esav. I want to wear the clothing of Esav. I want to live the life of Esav. And Yaakov, his wise father, picks up on this immediately, and he says, Hakol kol Yaakov v'yadayim yedei Esav. He says, I know that the lifestyle that I have in mind for you is not exactly the lifestyle that you're perfectly comfortable with right now, but I need you to follow your inner voice, and I need you to honor your highest, most authentic self. And that's why he says, Hakol kol Yaakov, listen to your voice, listen to who you truly are, and don't try and camouflage that persona with the skin, the layer of Esav that's just not authentic for you. And so he runs away and he's angry. And it's interesting, classically we talk about where he was running to, Haran, in terms of an immoral place, and his family over there was steeped in that immorality, and that's why we call it Haron Af Shel Makam. It was a place where the anger of God was present there, and so he was going into this place of anger, and that's why classically we interpret this whole story as, the proverbial being caught between a rock and a hard place. He was running away from Esav on one hand, and his immoral family on the other, the anger over there. The truth of the matter is that we could look at the anger in Haran as possibly the anger of Yaakov himself. And when we say that he's going to Haran, essentially what we're saying is that he's actually trying to work through his anger. He's going toward that anger. He is finally going to try and wrestle with his identity and try and become more comfortable with what he knows at heart is his destiny and what he's meant to be. And that's precisely what happens over the next 20 years, is that he emerges and grows into his role, and he becomes comfortable in his own skin, and he doesn't need to look to Esav's life, to Esav's skin anymore. He starts to become at home in his own life, and he starts to accept that his life is the life that he was meant to live, that's bashert to him, and he accepts that, and it brings him a lot of joy. And that's how his family is able to slowly grow together with him into the prototype of what was going to become the Jewish people. Now, the real test is when he goes back to greet his brother again. And that's really, like in any struggle that we have that challenges our authenticity, even though we feel we may have made great strides in that process, you don't really know how well you've done until you re-enter into the precise circumstances that challenged that sense of authenticity and identity in the first place. And that's why this was so important. And the story of Yaakov in the middle of the night fighting with the angel is suggestive of this final battle and this final breaking through and the full assumption of this role. And this is where his name gets changed, because it's a reflection of a full metamorphosis, a full and complete transformation that takes place. And in the morning, he's Israel, and his children are the Bnei Israel. And he feels so comfortable and so spiritually sure of who he is. He has full acceptance, and it's in this frame of mind that he's qualified finally to re-encounter Esav. And he does so with love, he does so with joy, he does so with class, and he does so every inch. Yaakov, now Israel, the father of the 12 tribes, the father of the Jewish people. Yom Tov. I hope to talk to you soon, and have a great day.